Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of Need for Speed. This movie is directed by Scott Waugh, who co-directed Act of Valor. This movie stars Aaron Paul, Dominic Cooper, and Imogen Poots. Aaron Paul plays Toby Marshall, a mechanic who values two things in life, his friends and racing. And when he accepts a challenge to race from ex-high school peer now turned celebrity, Dino Brewster, played by Dominic Cooper, tragedy strikes. And when it does, Toby gets framed for it and ends up in prison. But upon his release, he decides to get back at Dino, but he wants to do it behind the wheel. So he has to travel from New York to San Francisco to try to get entered into the secret race called De Leon. When the trailer of this movie first came out, I didn't think this movie was going to be any good. I thought it was going to be one of those video game franchises that's now turned into a movie, and I thought there was going to be maybe one or two races in it, and the plot was going to be bad, and I wasn't going to enjoy this movie. But I hate to say it, but I really underestimated this movie. I thought I was pleasantly surprised. Aaron Paul did a really good job in this movie as he totally broke away from his Breaking Bad character of Jesse Pinkman. He's come a long way from his roles in Mission Impossible 3 and Last House on the Left, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more from him because he showed he can be a leading man. Dominic Cooper as the bad guy, he worked as well. His character didn't say a whole lot, but his actions spoke louder than his words. Even the female co-star of Imogen Poots, she worked as well. She came off a bit annoying at first, but over time she grows on the audience. I liked how this movie had an all-young cast. There were some adults and some older people in the movie, but they all played characters of high authority, or they were just rich. Some things I felt could have been omitted from this movie was one of Toby's friends quitting his job in unusual fashion, and another friend who would constantly show up in aircraft. It seemed a bit much for this type of movie. Besides that, everything in this movie was realistic, whether it was the dialogue of Toby's friends joking around with each other or the car crashes. I really liked how all the car crashes were done without CGI. So whenever a car crashed and tumbled and flipped and burned and exploded, you could see it fly to pieces and shred up. You could also see people inside the car, whether it was first-person view or if a car was crashing, you'd see their inside the car perspective. So it was really neat. Just like with Act of Valor, which actually shows up in this movie, by the way, Scott Waugh knows how to direct realistic sequences, and it really shows here. So, if anything, Need for Speed shows us that you don't have to have a racing car franchise that has big stars and even bigger special effects to be interesting. Look at movies like Jack Reacher or Bullet. No special effects there. Real cars, real people, real stunts. So, I'm going to give Need for Speed an A-. Whether you're a fan of Aaron Paul or just racing in general, I'd check this movie out. So until next time, guys, see ya.